La Malinche Española, México, ella es muy inteligente y hermosa. Ella está casada con Juan Amarillo. El hijo es el primero mestizo y mexicano de Mexico. From the town of Panaya, there was a native princess named Malinche. She was sold into enslavement sometime between the 1500s and 1518. Her mother sold her after she remarried the lord of another town, and they had a son together. The mother sold her into enslavement because she didn't want to jeopardize her new son's inheritance. She was also sold by traders to the lord of Pontonchan, where she stayed until the Spanish came in 1519. When she was baptized by the Spanish, they gave her the name Dona Marina instead of Malinche. And Malintzin means owner of the noble Malinche, and originally referred to Cortez. It was also shortened to Malinche. When Cortez acquired Malinche, she was able to speak Mayan from being enslaved for many years. She also spoke Nahuatl, the language of the Aztecs, as a child. Cortez could communicate with Aztec missionaries through his two interpreters. His male interpreter could translate the Spanish into Mayan for Malinche, who would then translate it into Nahuatl. The Spanish couldn't have conquered the Aztecs without her. She could tell when people were lying and knew the Spanish language well enough to always ask for gold. Cortez knew how important she was and assigned his best soldiers to protect her. In October 1519, the Spanish arrived at Cholula, and while they were there, Emperor Montezuma allegedly ordered the Cholulans to ambush the Spanish. Malinche learned of the plot, though. A local woman told her of the plot and to run away from Cortez. Instead, Malinche brought the woman to Cortez, and most of the upper-class Cholula were wiped out. In 1523, Malinche gave birth to Cortez's son Martin. He was also known as the first mestizo. Most of his life was spent in court in Spain. Although Martin was made legitimate by papal order, he never was in line to inherit his father's vast lands because Cortez later had another son with his second wife. Malinche was often viewed as a very good-looking, intelligent, and self-assured woman, and she was also given off to multiple people during her stay with Cortez, and she was also convinced by Cortez to marry one of his captains in 1524. Now married to one of Cortez's captains, Cortez built them a house that is now named Casa de la Malinche, and over the years, Malinche faded into obscurity so much that her first son said she was alive in a letter dated 1551, and her son-in-law referred to as dead in a letter dated 1552. Even 500 years later, Mexicans are still trying to come to terms with Malinche's betrayal of her own native culture. Many people still despise Malinche and consider her a traitor. There is even a word, Malinchismo, which refers to people who prefer foreign things to Mexican ones, although some do point out that Malinche was an enslaved person who simply took a better offer when one came along.